been 30 years. Hey, it's Brainmuffin back with a beer review, and today we have a beer that's celebrating something that's older than most people that watch these videos. So Great Lakes, 30 years of brewing, I guess is what they're celebrating. The 30th anniversary Imperial Oyster Stout. So I don't know if it's 30 years of this beer or they're celebrating 30, I don't know. But in really freaking small lettering is some information. I've had to sit down a little bit, that's why it's a little sweaty. To celebrate our Pearl anniversary, we added fresh shucked oysters and Kako, I guess, Kako, C-A-C-A-O, nibs to this special Imperial Stout, symbolizing the hard work and sweat memories we shared over 30 years of independent, family-owned craft brewing. Very good. Savor the rich, chocolatey flavors and subtle, salty finish as you help us toast the next 30. Now, normally I don't read all that stuff before I drink it, but I was really interested what the heck they did with oysters. Now, I'm not a big oysters on the half shell fan, and they are on the Great Lakes, and I don't know if I want to eat oysters out of the Great Lakes. Oh. Can definitely smell the chocolate, and you can definitely smell the oysters. Wow. I mean, it is like the nasty part of the beach. Alright, so we got a nice dark coloring. It's got nice hints of chocolate, that's for sure. And it is salty. It does have a salty finish and a little bitter. Almost like a bitter chocolate. Definitely a porter, or no, stout. Sorry about that. I'm wondering if I didn't know it had oysters in it, I wouldn't be making so many weird faces, because it's a bitter chocolate. I mean, bitter chocolate. It's not smooth at all. It's 10% alcohol, I think. I mean, it's got a 11% alcohol, 37 IBUs. Wow, the alcohol is very noticeable. It's got a nice warming sensation. I have had one friend check this in, a 3.75. It's got an average of 4.01 on Untapped. What did that say? 23,000? No. 2,153 ratings. That's not bad. That means there's some people that really like it and probably some people that don't. I think the oysters, I think that puts a middle picture, at least in my mind, of what that smell is like, and it might be inventing that smell. But it's got a bitterness to it that's just lingers and lingers, and then there's this alcohol bite that just bam. And it is kind of, I mean, it has a smoothness to it. And it has this alcohol presence mid-mouth with the chocolate. And when if you kind of drink and smell at the same time, you get this nice chocolatey stout. And you're like, oh, this is familiar. There's a little bit of hint of breadiness, a little bit of hint of biscuit. And you got this chocolate. And then it finishes, and it's salty and bitter, and the alcohol is highly present. I mean, the finish is bizarre. It really is bizarre. Because like, if I had a smoother alcohol finish and I didn't have that saltiness, this thing's a 5. This is a beautiful chocolate stout. But that alcohol presence and that saltiness, ugh. I guess I don't like it. I don't really have anything to compare it against. I mean, the oyster stout is not exactly something I buy very often. Nice 22-ounce bottle, though. Wow, 1 pint, 6 ounces. That's 22 ounces. See right now, everything's good. Everything's fine. And here comes the saltiness. Here comes this alcohol presence that's just, it's like, the saltiness is really like, it coats your teeth. It's like it's not there till everything else is passed. And then it's like, hello, I'm salty. Maybe if I was more of a oysters eater, I would like this, but man, I don't know how to rate this. Because on the one hand, it starts as a very good chocolatey stout, smooth. Like I said, it's got hints of breadiness to it. The aroma has this nice biscuity aroma, you know, kind of like a hearty bread. It's not very malty as far as sweetness. It's nice, got a nice balance. And then you get this lingering thing comes back, and it's this salty, high alcohol punch in the mouth. I mean, it makes you want to drink more because you want to get rid of that. It's like, where did the chocolatiness go? And it's not a sweet chocolate. It is a nice, kind of, I wouldn't say bitter, but it's this chocolatey, you know, like a natural chocolate. But it's not chalky. It's not bitter. It's just kind of smooth with the breadiness of the beer, and then it just, it's like the gases come up out of your stomach, and it's like, it's very weird. Very weird. Because you don't get a hint of that. That's my hand I'm smelling. I mean, there is a hint of something. It's like you can smell the chocolate, and then there's something, this funkiness that it's not a good funky. Wow, I'm making it. I'm inhaling so hard through my nose. I'm making the bottle. Wow, that is bizarre. I'm at a loss for a rating, which doesn't happen very often on these beer reviews, but does happen because if I want to rate it on the stoutiness, the chocolatiness of it, it's a 5. On the alcohol burn that I get, I know it's 11%, but it's way too noticeable. That takes it down to a 4.5 because that means they didn't cellar it long enough, and they also they fermented too quickly. And then there's this saltiness, bitterness that just brings it down another 0.5 point minimum. Oh man, I don't know. There's a part of me wants to give it a 4. Let's compromise. Because I'm thinking 3.5, 4. 3.75 is what I'm going to give it. And I know that's a lot of my own proclivities. It's kind of like Festina Pesh with Dogfish Head. The brewers think it's a great beer. No one else does. I'm sure the brewers are like, I got a great idea. Let's put nasty, dirty oysters in there. Why? Why would you do that? Just make it a nice chocolatey stout. Now, you don't have to, you know, put it in bourbon barrels or anything. I mean, you could. I mean, it's kind of a cliche at this point. But so is throwing things like oysters in there, you know. It's like the salted caramel. What the heck? And that fad hasn't passed yet, unfortunately. I mean, right there, that on the nose, after it's poured and opened up a little bit, it's nice bready and hint of chocolate. And it's like this warm, chocolatey aroma with no hint of sweetness. Nice bready, biscuitiness, chocolate. And here comes the salt and the bitterness. So, what do you think? Do you think I'm being way overly sensitive and I don't like oysters well enough to enjoy this? I mean, it's a good beer. You know, 3.75, and see, it's getting even more bitter. I mean, it's really starting to affect me. The alcohol bitterness is really high, and there's this saltiness. I don't like that. But this is my feelings. If I had to judge this, I'd have to know what the heck an oyster stout, what the style guides are, and this might be, you know, spot on for all I know. I mean, there's a lot of beers that I don't like at all that are right, I mean, they are perfect to style, but that's a style I don't like. But so 3.75 is my compromise to myself with this beer. Do you like it, not like it? Do you think I'm being overly judgmental here? But I would love to try this without the stupid oysters in it. In fact, I would love to try this with more cocoa. In fact, put it on vanilla beans and cocoa. That would be pretty good too. And add 11%. And maybe a little bit slower fermentation next time. All right, thanks for clicking like over here. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks so much for the comments and the retweets and the thumbs up that I've been getting. I really like doing these beer reviews, and I really want to do more. So let me know what beers you want to see reviewed on here. Check me out on the WCBS Facebook page as well and send me messages. All right? Thank you very much, and we'll see you later. Goodbye. It picked that up. Really? 30th anniversary Imperial Stout. Winter Fizz. I never heard of that one either. Cocoa nib? Cocoa nibs. Cocoa?